Good evening. Welcome to News at 10 on TV3. It is live from the News Hub here at Adesawe Kanda, Accra. My name is Grace Hamwa Asabe. We're also live on DSTV channel 279. Let's take a look at the news highlights. Misunderstanding between some aspirants and the election planning committee delayed the election of new regional executives for the NDC in the Ashanti region. Our correspondent Beatrice Fiogabra reports the elections, which were scheduled to start at 12 noon, delayed for hours, and as at 4:30 p.m., the voting had not commenced. Now, the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi has recorded a reduction in child mortality 4 months after the new mother and baby unit was opened. The 15.9% mortality rate recorded in 2017 dropped to 11.3% between April and July 2018, whilst neonatal admissions shot up. Local textbook publishers have raised concerns over the high cost involved in getting books printed, which in turn makes the price of local books more expensive than imported ones. At a book fair in Accra, they called for increased support from government to grow the book industry. Let's start with the big one. There was confusion at the central cafeteria of the University of Ghana, where the NDC is holding its regional elections. Regional organizer Anthony Nukpenu described the happenings as the most embarrassing in the history of the region.
Organizers, this how best you could organize your people for this election?
It's very unfortunate that at this juncture this is happening, and I believe before we got to this end, all of us have abreast ourselves with the rules and the regulations for the election. And we have assured ourselves that we are not going to do anything to create this kind of unforeseen situation. But today, it's really an appalled situation. And I'm really embarrassed that people that we understand the rules have created this kind of scene, engage people to come to the room and flout the rules and create this unnecessary tension that is characterized with this election. It's an unfortunate situation.
The whole place is in a mess, as you know. But what is surprising is that there is, tons of security personnel here. Apart from the police, you have your internal security called the Hawks. And it's surprising that they're also looking on, as well as the party executives. What is actually happening?
Well, I think some aspirants have just made their mind that they will come here and create this kind of scene. And if actions are being taken, they will disrupt their process. So we tried as much as possible to manage this to this end.
But as far as you are concerned, it's not being managed. What we are seeing is not being managed.
Managing in the sense that we are containing the noise to make sure the voting process goes on, and then we can end. Then the ballots that are in the boxes will be sorted and counted. So it's an unfair situation, but we believe that the voting process has been very fair, and we expect that anybody, whatever the outcome, you will take it as that is the true reflection of the delegates' votes. From the beginning, we tried to appeal to people's conscience that we are at conference, and we need to create a conducive atmosphere for everybody to be happy with the process. That at the end of the day, they think this is the best way they can do. It's an unfortunate situation that I am really ashamed as a regional organizer. This is not the best way we have ever had election. This has been the most embarrassing.
So let's now cross over to the central cafeteria of the University of Ghana, where my colleague Catherine Frimpoma is joining me. Now, some results have been coming in for the Greater Accra region. Jerry Johnson, for communication for the Greater Accra region, Jerry Johnson has pulled 597 votes, Sami Ablodepe 295, Latif Osman 66, we have Gabi assuming 64. These are certified results. Catherine will join us and give us more on counting, which is underway.
Of Ghana, where the NDC National Delegates Conference is still underway. Voting has ended, counting is underway. As you can see in your shots, electoral officials together with the various agents of the various aspirants going through the process of counting, but some few results has come through, that is certified results by the Electoral Commission, that I would like to run by you. For the Greater Accra Regional Communication position, Jerry Johnson had 579 votes, followed by Sami Ablodepe, who had 295. Latif Osman had 66 votes, and Gabi Assuming had 64, and that is certified electoral results from the EC. For the regional organizer position, Derek Myers had 239 votes. Maxwell Ofosu Amevo had 222 votes. Humphrey Tetemensa had 144, and Anthony Nupenu had 390 votes. We had one rejected ballot, and so that means that the incumbent regional organizer, Anthony Nupenu, has maintained his seat by winning 390 votes. We also had some results on the treasurer position, and Solomon Ni Afra Bano had 117 votes. Regina Akunkel had 430 votes. Alhaji Seidu Haruna had 242 votes, and Rabon Kwashidodu had 216 votes. There were 105 rejected ballots, and so that is by way of some few certified results from the EC coming through. Counting is still underway. All the various aspirants are here, as well as incumbent regional executives, plus the various stakeholders who are all waiting for the final declaration of the results so that they can also be sworn in. We are still here monitoring events, and we will be updating you as and when we have any updates. Grace.
Certainly, Catherine, thank you very much for joining us. That was my colleague, Catherine Frimpoma, joining us from the Central Cafeteria of the University of Ghana, where counting is underway for the Greater Accra Regional elections of the NDC. Let's now speak with political scientist at the University of Cape Coast, called Emisa, who is joining me live on Skype. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Great. We are hearing results so far from the Greater Accra region. Have you recorded any shocks so far in the regional elections in the Central region?
Definitely no. My general impression is that there wouldn't be much of a change.
We apologize for that technical hitch. We'll still work Skype so that we're able to speak with Call Emisa, a political scientist from the University of Cape Coast. But let's stay a while longer on the NDC regional elections, because 54 candidates are vying for 14 positions in the Volta region NDC regional elections. The 884 delegates are expected to determine the fates of the final 14 to steer the affairs of the party in the region.
The process began well, with the delegates going through election formalities peacefully and freely. The organizers described the Congress as a family reunion and hoped it would end successfully. Voting started around 2:30 p.m. and is expected to end at 6 p.m. The 884 delegates are choosing the remaining regional positions needed to steer the affairs of the party in the region. In all, 54 candidates were vying for the 14 regional positions. the regional youth organizer, deputy youth organizer, women organizer, and her 2 deputies positions were earlier decided on Friday, August 31. The incumbent regional youth organizer, Egypt Kuduto, lost to his deputy, Matthias Alagbo, 51 to 47 votes, while Suleiman Mumuni won the deputy regional youth organizer slot. Fafa Agbai was elected the regional women organizer with 39 votes. The 2 deputy women organizer positions went to Mariam Adre and Paulina Magiam with 23 votes each.
You're also watching News at 10 on TV3. We are also live on DSTV channel 279. We're back with some more stories after this break. Don't go away. Welcome back to News at 10 on TV3. So let's go back to our earlier interview on the NDC regional elections and speak with Col Emisa, who is a political scientist at the University of Cape Coast. Sasa, I was earlier asking you whether you are shocked by the current turnout of results in the election. So I was asking you whether you are shocked by the turnout of the elections. Okay. We apologize once again for that technical hitch. We'll go back to him.
Election, yes, to be keen, but I am not expecting. Not at all. Not at all. I am not. I am not. This is definitely an expected phenomenon. Generally, I'm expecting that the old guards will be.
We'll definitely get back to the political scientist Col Emisa in our subsequent bulletins. But let's move away from the NDC regional elections now, because Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana has denied any involvement in government's proposed creation of the OT region, as alleged by a so-called Joint Consultative Committee of the OT movement. This is in reaction to reports by a group accusing the church of making attempts to persuade people in the OT area to vote against the creation of the new region. This, the church says, is false and should be disregarded, adding as a policy they do not engage in politics. A statement by the church also disowned the 2 pastors who are reported to be spearheading the campaign are not members of the church. The church again says it has never been involved in any separatist agitation for a sovereign state for the Volta region to be named Western Togoland. And we are joined in the studio by Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Ame, the Synod Clerk of the General Assembly of the EP Church. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening, and good evening to your cherished viewers.
Sir, so let's get it straight here. Can you explain the position of the church on the creation of the new regions?
The Church, Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana, has no position whatsoever in connection with dividing the Volta region into 2 or creating a new region out of it. We don't have any position because the church operates throughout Ghana and beyond Ghana. And therefore, we don't see how creating a new region out of the Volta region will affect the fortunes of the church in the Volta region. If anybody says that, it goes to suggest that the Evangelical Presbyterian Church operates only in the Volta region, and for that matter, creating a new region out of it will affect the operation, which is very false.
So your former moderator, J.Y. Ledu, advocated for a Western Togoland course. Under which circumstance did he do that?
When we say the church does not involve itself in politics, it is because we know within the church we have people who have different colors when it comes to political party or political organization, and therefore we cannot and we will never be part of any political agitation. Therefore, individuals, as we say so, cannot be stopped to say, don't belong to this party, go along with this party, or otherwise. Therefore, the former moderator of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church, the very Reverend J.Y. Ledu, might have been doing that on his own conviction and on the personal ground.
But he is the moderator of the church.
He
was the moderator
a former
of the
moderator,
church.
yes, a former moderator.
And as at the time when he was making the comment, he was still the moderator.
No.
He wasn't the moderator of the church.
No.
Okay.
He has left office close to 20 years now. So he cannot be speaking for the church. He was doing that on his own personal conviction.
So, so in the release, you also disowned some 2 pastors. Who are these pastors? And then what decision are you taking on them? Have you decided on any sanctions for them?
Since they are not our pastors, how do we sanction them?
But they are going around speaking as if they are parts of the church. And for the public out there who might not know they are not pastors of the church, they are thinking they are parts of the church.
I hold in my hand we normally every year publish a yearbook that contains every information you will want to know about the Evangelical Presbyterian Church. And from this booklet, from page 91 onwards, is the list of pastors that we have in the Evangelical Presbyterian Church. And here I have 299 pastors. And then last July, we also commissioned 13 more, in addition to the 299 pastors that we have. I can give it to you to look through. It is arranged alphabetically, and therefore you can easily get to know whether those pastors are our pastors. They are not. They are pastors of other churches within the region who are going about doing that. If those media houses who were publishing these news.
So other churches, not EP churches?
Not EP church, yes.
But how many Ghanaians are privy to this information that they are not from the EP church?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
And how many would even want to get a list of the pastors you have?
Yes, that is why it is prudent for every media house, when you have any information, you cross-check and get your facts right before you go into the public domain to say whatever you want to say. And that is why our church is so angry with the media houses that have published this falsehood about us, trying to do what I will call satanic attack on the church, to bring the church under disrepute and make the public turn against us or whatsoever I don't know. And I think it is irresponsible on the part of the media houses who might have done that without cross-checking with us.
But since the issue of the creation of the region came up, have you had any meeting with government on the way forward?
We have never had any meeting with any group, either be government or any group formed by any individual anywhere. The church has never, let me give you one information. Before government even came into power, to even talk about creating a new region, Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana had already in 2010 created a new presbytery. Now the EP Church is divided into 15 presbyteries. We have divided the country into 15 zones, if you like, which we call in the Presbyterian sector as presbyteries. And in 2010, we realized for the church to be able to attain its vision and mission, there's the need for us to create a new presbytery and to make the gospel made known to the people at its use. So we have already created OT Presbytery in 2010. So how could we be against any OT region that is being created by government?
Right, Rev, talking about the creation and establishment, let's look at the establishment of the National Cathedral. What does the EP Church think about this move by government, or the stand of the church on this move by government?
Again, the Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana has not discussed this opportunity, as you can know or see from the committee that was set up. Our church was not represented, even though we acknowledge the fact that some Christian Council church membership were involved in the committee work. I will say that Evangelical Presbyterian Church is still not represented.
Will the EP Church have supported it if you were part of the rep that's met the president?
That will take the whole General Assembly Council to discuss and come up with an answer.
Personally, Rev, do you think it's important? Do you think it's something we should do
you now
in
want
helping?
You now want my own view?
Yes.
My personal view.
I mean, you
as an individual.
Yes, you just said that you're putting in efforts to make sure that the gospel reaches everybody, and we know that this is also, let me say, a latent reason for the creation or the establishment of the National Cathedral. Personally, do you think it's something we should do?
Personally, I would say yes. Personally, simply because over 71% of the population of Ghanaians claim to be Christians. And then a government comes and recognizes the work of Christians and says that since Christians are coming together to build a cathedral, I will assist by way of providing them space to do that. I don't see what the government has done wrong.
So, Rev, apart from the Christian religion, there are other religions in Ghana. Do you think that National Cathedral should be interfaith, or it should be reserved for Christians?
I acknowledge the fact that we have other religions, and those religions have to be accorded the respect and the recognition in this country. I acknowledge the fact that these religions have also contributed their quota for us to have this peaceful coexistence that we all have enjoy in this country, and that underrating and undermining any religion in this country can cause any chaotic situation for all of us.
So you think it should be interfaith?
Not really, but in a way we should find a way of recognizing these religions.
Thank you very much,
You are welcome.
Rev. I was speaking with Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Ameho, with Synod Clerk of the General Assembly of the EP Church. You're still watching NEWSAT10 on TV3. Let's do some other stories now. Okay, Rev.
I'm not the Synod Clerk of the church. I mean, we have moved away from the synodal system for some time now. I'm the Clerk of the General Assembly.
Clerk of the General Assembly.
Yes.
Well noted, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, the GN Group, chaired by business magnate and politician Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum, has begun cutting jobs within the various units under the conglomerate. TV3 sources has gathered affected units include the GN Bank, the GN Media, and Coconut Grove Hotels. Reports indicate more than 100 people are likely to lose their jobs at the bank, while ATV will see about 90 staff affected. Some 10 staff with Coconut Grove Hotel have already been asked to go home by management. Excerpts of a letter cited by TV3 reads, "Management wishes to inform you that your services with GNTV are no longer needed. The termination of your appointment takes immediate effect. The company is therefore exercising its right to terminate under Clause 7.3 of the HR Manual by giving you the required statutory notice. However, you will be paid 1 month's salary in lieu of notice." The letter, dated 27th August, was signed by Frederick Brahma, Head Recruitment and Selection of the group. Inside information picked by TV3 indicate the group is cutting down costs in other subsidiaries within the group to rake in more capital as part of measures to raise a 400 million cedis minimum capital requirement for all banks by close of 2018. TV3 News can confirm some of the affected staff have threatened legal action against what they describe as unlawful layoff. And that's how we end this edition of NEWSAT10 on TV3. Many thanks for joining us. You can log on to 3news.com for some more stories. My name is Grace Hamwa Asari. Good evening.